NYPD Commissioner Dermot Sea preparing to help us usher in the new year over in Times Square while also ushering in a new season in his own personal life. He joins us this morning for our final one-on-one conversation. So let's welcome back Police Commissioner Dermot Sea. Good to see you again, sir.
Good to see you, Dan.
And so let me begin where I left off with you last week, right? Because you said you're planning to be in Times Square for those final moments as police commissioner.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
as it stands, this is the last large-scale safety operation you're overseeing, but that could be changing, right? What are the conversations happening about what's going on in Times Square?
It's a wait and see. You know, that decision is going to come out of City Hall. Obviously, you know, we're dialed into that. There's no decision yet, Dan. So we'll wait and see. And from our end, we have to plan for things are going to go off as normal, and there's going to be large crowds. And then we also have to plan for, well, what if it's scaled back? But there is absolutely no decision made yet.
So you're making both of those plans right now, kind of going back and forth on whether it's large or small.
Yeah, that's right.
But in some version, there will be something happening in Times Square.
Well, we'll wait and see. You know, that's what, you know, we're all dealing with the same thing here. And, you know, we're all watching these numbers. Obviously, it's a lot of factors. It's an outside event, but you got to keep people safe. So we'll wait and see, and I'm sure we'll have a decision within days.
Okay, well, and that brings me to Omicron cases because they are certainly going up, right? There was an article in the Post, I'm not sure if you saw it, citing that 8% of the NYPD called out sick just yesterday with flu-like symptoms. Was that accurate, and how are you handling sick outs at this very busy time of year?
As of yesterday, the number was 7.8%. That's roughly a doubling in about a week. So we are New York City. I say that many times. So what happens to New Yorkers happens to us as well. And we're definitely seeing it hit us hard. You know, there was another article about the mask policy changes. That was really a reaffirmation of existing policy more than anything else, just reminding people, hey, it's coming, be careful, take the precautions. The good news is we are not seeing a dramatic increase in hospitalizations within our employees.
Good.
It remains essentially where it was. So if there is a silver lining, that's it. And we're gonna ride this out, and hopefully we crest soon and come back down.
Yeah, and I know you've been pushing for vaccines amongst your own department. How are you leaving the department in terms of vaccinations, and what's your message to those who still haven't gotten it?
I don't think there's much else to say regarding this. I mean, 88%, Dan, is a pretty high number. There is a small number that, you know, are appealing it. There's also a number that legitimately can't for, you know, a number of reasons. So I think we're in good shape, and, you know, I'll let that one lie. I think I've made the pleas to them many times before, and I think they've responded when you see 88%.
All right, I want to get you lastly on a couple big headlines that we're seeing. There's been several cases that surfaced on social media where officers were called for people who were not following vaccine mandates, and it looks like people were taken into custody here, right? We have some of that video. Is the NYPD responsible for vaccine mandates? What can you tell us about those incidents where it looks like people were placed under arrest?
No, I mean, we don't have any role in vaccine mandates or anything as such. But there's a fine line there, too. You know, business owners, unfortunately, I feel for them, have to deal with this. And if we're called to a disturbance or called to a situation where somebody is being ejected out of a store and there's a dispute, then, of course, we'll go to keep the peace. So that's what you saw in those. It's a bit of theater, if you ask me, Dan. You know, take a look. Anytime you see a video and there's 15 people holding cameras 2 inches away, it tells you a little bit about the situation.
Okay, understood, sir. And I want to get your thoughts right now. We saw this video this morning, an NYPD officer recovering after being dragged by a car in the Bronx. The video is just disturbing to look at. What led to the exchange between the officer and the driver, and how is that officer doing?
It's sickening, if you ask me, and I think it's symptomatic of what we've seen over the last couple of years. Just a disregard for laws and decency. I mean, this is a routine, quote unquote, routine traffic stop where the officer is dragged and suffers a serious injury to their leg. I've seen more incidents, Dan, in the last year and a half of, I'll call it crazy driving, where obviously boxed in and just saying, I'm not stopping, and ramming police cars and ramming civilian cars. You know, there's a lot of talk about Vision Zero and public safety and driving in New York these days, as there should be. This is a part of that conversation that needs to be discussed. Like, what do you do with people that will not obey laws and have no fear of any consequences for their
Is that
actions.
person under arrest and in jail?
Under arrest, the real question is what happens to them? And inevitably, not much is the answer.
Understood. Sir, I do want to talk, we're almost out of time here, and I want to say you've made it a mission to be very transparent, and I appreciate all the time you have given us every other week with these live conversations, answering tough questions, and there have been plenty along the way, and you've answered all of them. We've had a lengthy back and forth with you. We've had a lengthy look back at your career, but let me ask you about looking ahead. Have you met with the incoming police commissioner? Your thoughts so far on her appointment?
I have. We've spoken a number of times. I've sat down with her. I've showed her her office to be. I'm going to tell you, Dan, you know, I'm a straight shooter. I think she's really impressive. I think she's a good person. She's got a good heart. She's smart. I think she's going to do great things. And I told her, listen, everyone is going to wrap around you because everyone wants the NYPD to succeed. So I think she's going to do a phenomenal job, and she's waiting to go.
You have one piece of advice for her?
Many pieces of advice, but I will keep all those between her and me. And she doesn't need my advice, honestly.
And I have asked you this probably every time in the last 2 months. What is next for you?
I think the Mets are going to win the World Series.
The Mets are going to win the World Series. Yes, that's your hope with the new general manager. But what is next for you? When will you tell us that news?
Sometime next year.
You're going to come back?
You never know. You never know.
A private sector.
And listen, to the whole PIX team, thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to be on with you. And thanks for the opportunity to talk to New Yorkers. That's what it was always about.
Are you wrapping this? Are you wrapping this interview?
Let's go to the weather.
You're Police Commissioner Dermot Sea, appreciate you and all of your time that you have given us over the last year. Thank you. And we'll talk to you. Have a very happy holiday to you, okay?
Bye-bye.
You want to toss to Byron? Go ahead. Say Byron's got the weather.
Yeah.
Byron's got the weather.